Hi there, my name is Dr. Desiree Yazdan and I am a cosmetic dentist in Newport Beach, California. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a very special procedure, and that is called ICON, which is a resin infiltration system. So I'm going to go through what that means. So, have you ever seen those white spots on someone's teeth? You may have seen someone with them, you may know somebody with them, or you may have them yourself. A lot of times they are developed while the teeth are developing. So when that happens, usually they're in every layer of the tooth structure. Sometimes they're really superficial. They come in different forms, different sizes. Sometimes they're really big. Sometimes they are small. Sometimes they actually have like a groove inside of the tooth. And sometimes they're caused by poor oral hygiene. So if you or someone you know had braces and then the braces are removed and you see a bunch of white spots on the teeth, sometimes it's hard to clean the teeth when somebody has braces or some kind of orthodontic treatment, so they're not able to clean properly, and then what happens is those white spots will develop over time. In the past, the way that we would be able to correct those white spots is by drilling them out and putting a filling, which you're cutting into healthy tooth structure, or that was the most conservative. Then there's like some people used to put veneers over the teeth to cover the front of them and change the color and shape and size of the teeth, but that would help mask those out, or doing full coverage crowns. So these are all more invasive than they need to be, and the really great thing about why I love the ICON treatment so much is because it's actually really conservative. So what happens is, I'm going to explain to you how it is. You don't need to numb the patient, you don't need to drill on the patient, you don't need to do a filling like a traditional filling, the way when you like drill out a part of the tooth and put a filling in there. You're basically conserving tooth structure with this procedure, and that's why I love it so much, and that's why I offer it in my practice. Especially for when you get a patient who's maybe 11 or 12 or 13 years old and they just got their braces off, or they've just always had this white spot on their tooth that they want removed, and they have beautiful teeth otherwise. It's really great to be able to conserve that tooth structure. You don't have to go and drill into a healthy tooth of like an 11-year-old and cover it with a veneer or a crown or something, or even put a filling over it. You can do the ICON treatment and preserve their tooth structure. So the way it works is that there's this green gel with the ICON system, and that is an etch. And what that does is it roughens the surface of the tooth. And as you keep applying that green gel, it kind of starts to break down that area of the white spot. And after you've applied it enough times, you'll see that the white spot will start to go away. Now, there's a very specific way that you have to apply it, because it is a strong etch material, and you want to make sure that you're not removing additional tooth structure that doesn't need to be removed, and you don't want to roughen the surface too much. So there's kind of a happy medium, because if you apply too much of it, it can actually create a little groove in the tooth. So you want to just balance out how much you're applying and how long it's on there for and what you're doing, and just monitor the process. And once you do that part of the procedure, then what you'll do is you dry out the tooth. So there's actually an alcohol product inside of the system, and you apply that for a specific amount of time, and you let that tooth and that area dry out so that it's very clean, there's no contamination of anything. And then what you do is you basically seal off the tooth. The last step of this procedure is to do the resin infiltration portion, which is where you put the final material and you seal off the tooth. So all that roughened surface that you have, now it's nice and smooth, it's polished. And the beautiful thing about this is that there's really no downtime. So the patient can have the procedure done, they can go and eat whatever they want, they can do whatever they want, they can whiten their teeth if they want. And how this actually differs from traditional whitening systems, so ICON is not an actual whitening system. A whitening system will remove surface staining, it will whiten your teeth. This ICON system helps to remove white spots on teeth. However, if you have the treatment done, you can go have your teeth whitened and it won't affect it. That resin portion that we infiltrate into the tooth, that is actually translucent, so it will not affect the teeth when it comes to whitening or anything like that. It just basically seals off that roughened area. So that's pretty much it. The cost varies, so it depends where you go, how big the lesion is, how deep the lesion is, how many lesions there are, how many teeth that are being worked on, if it's the whole tooth or just a little part of the tooth. So the cost really varies, but that is basically the Icon infiltration system in a nutshell. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know.